Welcome to the math examples video for Tuesday, March 24th. So your worksheets for today, you have to do page 6, you have to do page 7, and you have to do page 8. So that's three sheets, and you have to at least do the must on each one of those sheets. Of course, if you want to do the should or the could, that would be good too. Okay, so let's talk about the first sheet, page 6. Your must is numbers 1 to 18. So what I'd like to talk about, you're doing equivalent ratios, right? So you need to make sure that you are creating ratios that are the same comparison using different numbers, just like we talked about in the lesson. And also lowest terms. So if you take a look at page 6, the first one is lowest terms. We did that yesterday. Should be good to go with lowest terms. But let's do number 11 because the instructions are a bit different and something we haven't done before. So number 11, it asks you to determine whether the following pairs of ratio are equivalent ratios. So are they, in fact, the same comparison using different numbers? So what you'll need to do is you'll need to figure out, are they the same? Is there a number that they've either been multiplied or divided by? And if they are, great. If they're not, then you need to make a not equal sign. So let's do a couple examples. Number 11, you've got 8 over 24, and then you're going to write an equal sign. We don't know if it's equal yet. And then our second ratio is 1 over 3. So 8 over 24 equals 1 over 3. Well, let's figure out, how do I get 8 into 1? I have to divide by 8. How do I get 24 into 3? I also have to divide by 8. So if it's the same thing that's been done to the first and second part of your ratio, then yes, it is an equivalent ratio, so you can leave the equal sign there. Let's find an example that's not equal. Oh, that's page 7. Okay, let's do number 12. Number 12 is not equal. So this is how I want you to write it down. Number 12, you've got 3 over 5. So write your equal sign, and then 16 over 30. All right, so first of all, I know right away that this is not an equivalent ratio because 3 cannot be turned into 16. 16 is not a multiple of 3, right? Like if you count up by 3s, or if you look down your multiplication chart and you do go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 16 is not in there. So I can turn the 5 into 30 by multiplying by 6, but I cannot turn the 3 into 16. If I were going to make this an equivalent ratio, I would have to multiply that by 6, which would then of course be 18. So it's not an equal ratio, so that's how you indicate that it's not equal. You put your equal sign, you figure out if it's equal or not. If it's equal, you leave it alone. If it's not equal, just put a slash through your equal sign to indicate that's the math symbol for it does not equal. So that's how you do numbers 11 all the way up to number 18. And so let's look at page 7. Page 7 is pretty much exactly the same thing as page 6. The only thing I want to talk a little bit about is if you notice at the very top it says express all ratios in lowest terms. So that means all your answers need to be lowest terms as well as whatever it is that they're asking you to do. So if you take a look at number 1, also don't forget when you move pages, please write down which page you're working on as a title. Because when I mark this for your marks, obviously we're not doing any in-class quizzes, so all of the must questions for all of these worksheets is going to make up your marks for math for term 3. So I need to know which answers go with which page, or else I'm not going to be able to give you your proper marks. So make sure you're doing titles and dates and be organized. Alright, so let's talk about number 1. Yellow circles to blue circles. So obviously with a photocopy, the yellow and the blue and the green didn't come out. So I put a Y for the yellow, a B for the blue, and a G for the green. So that's how you can figure out which circles are which. So I'm doing a yellow circles to blue circles. Yellow circles, there are 4. And I put my ratio symbol. Blue circles, there are 3. I know this is already lowest terms because 3 is a prime number, so I don't have to do anything else after that. All right, and now let's do something as well from page 8. I'm just going to quickly check to see how much time we have left on this video. Oh, good. Okay, got 4 minutes. So, let's take a look at number 3 on page 8. So number 3, you have 1 to 2, and it asks you to write 3 equal ratios in the same form. That means that you don't want to turn it into a fraction, you don't want to use words. This has the ratio symbol, so each of your equivalent ratios are going to be in the ratio symbol. So, and it says write 3 equal ratios. So, the easiest way to do that is just put an equal sign and start multiplying by any number that you want. It's always easy to start with 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. Come on. And 2 times 2 is 4. Keeping it in the same ratio form. And now I still need 2 more equivalent ratios. So you always start with this one. Don't start using this one. That's fine. Just leave it there. You always want to start with the first one and then pick another number. So now I'm going to pick 5. 1 times 5 is 5. Come on. And 2 times 5 is 10. I need 1 more, so just pick a random number. In this case, I'm going to pick 20. So 1 times 20 is 20. 2 times 20 is 40. So these are all equivalent ratios. They all started from this one. So that's how you're going to do these questions. And you have to keep it in the ratio form. So if you notice on number 4, you have to use the words. And you have to keep it in word form. Okay, we're going to skip on down to question number 27. So I just want to go over, actually we're going to skip to question 28. So on question 28, it says write each ratio as a fraction in lowest terms. So the first one, question 27, is a fraction already. Question 28 is written as a ratio. So you have to turn it into a fraction and then make lowest terms. So that's what you have to do with the questions 27 to 41. So lowest terms, of course, you're going to figure out what you can divide both of them by. I can divide 4 by 4. I can divide 8 by 4. This will make it lowest terms, 1 over 2, which are both prime numbers, so for sure lowest terms. All right, if you have any questions about the worksheets that you're supposed to do or any of the work that you're supposed to do during this homework package, just get in touch.